we face some challenges like language barriers. As you all know, we all are from different countries, and there was some difficult to understand each other's accent and all.
Yeah, we also have different ways of thinking and different ways of working. Like some of us, we're more active, some of us, we're more reserved, but in any case, we manage to do our work as good as possible.
As they say, we have some differences, but we try to be patient and to make everything as much understandable as it can be. We were respectful to each other and we try to involve everyone in the process.
Okay, so I'm Maya Lafort, I'm 20, I'm French American, and I'm currently studying in King's College London, in London. But we have sort of rituals or like things we would do on a weekly basis, just like having dinner all together because it's kind of hard to see everyone all the time since we're a lot. There's a side of me that's really proud of being French. I think it's a great country. I think it's very developed. I think it has great ideas and a great future, but there's another side of me when, as a student living in the UK, and I say I'm French, some people will be like, wow, impressive, and some people will be like, So it depends, but yeah, they can be collective. Like when bad things happen in the country, a lot of people come together, but I would say in the real world, in an everyday life, they're more individualists. There is no specific religion associated to it. It's more of a very, I would say, inclusive. How French people can be very close-minded sometimes towards immigrants or internationals and kind of keep their culture to themselves and don't really share it to others. Yeah, I think incoming tourists are very important for the culture, to share the culture, for diversity, to learn about other cultures as well, and to share our own. So yeah, I think it's very important, especially if you're someone who likes to travel. You can't travel with only thinking about your own little culture and being ignorant to other cultures around the world. I think, well, France is an important country, but I wouldn't say French is a super important language. It's important for people to try and learn about many different cultures. I wouldn't say mine is more important than like German culture or Spanish culture. A lot of people make a significant effort to accept everyone, but we still have a lot of racism in our country, unconscious racism as well. A lot of people like homophobia, or I mean, I hear it all the time when I'm in the UK that French people are rude to foreigners. English people who try and speak French and try and make an effort kind of get shut down.
I expected to see how someone French of my age think and express about her country. I had some preconceptions. I thought that maybe she wouldn't be so open to answer all the questions, that maybe she wouldn't recognize things that are not the best here in France. I learned that family is important for French people. They are individualist. She was very open-minded because she has been exposed to different cultures. She mentioned that uh, French people could be close-minded and they have unconscious bias. They need to do an effort to accept and even to learn about other cultures.
In the interview, I expected to gain a deeper insight into typical French society and French culture, and especially from a young person's perspective on how they see France and how their society functions. The preconceptions that I had before doing the interview were based off of previous stereotypes, for example, how France is quite a closed-minded society, but I learned that there is only certain groups of people, and especially young people, that are more open-minded and more willing to learn about different cultures and people. And some of the traditions that I learned about was obviously Bastille Day. That's quite important to France, but also their personal traditions. For example, in the interview she mentioned how her family like to sit and eat meals together, which is quite knowledgeable considering from the UK that's not really a big thing.
What did I expect from the interview?
Well, I expected to hear more about their culture, their school system, and how it's different from ours. I wanted to see if they are open minded or biased, as some people think, and I wanted to learn and know more about their traditions and customs. What preconceptions did I have before the interview? Honestly speaking, we weren't sure if they were open to an interview or whether it would be tough, but as we approached them, we were able to have fun. It was fascinating to learn about their traditions. What did you learn from the French culture? France, in my view, is one of the nations with the greatest global cultural influence. One thing I noticed about French people is that they always say hello, hi, good morning, and bye, which shows how kind they are.
There was nothing shocking and unexpected in this interview because I have already discovered the French culture and the way they behave before. I knew that French people have their unconscious bias about migrants, about tourists. I have already heard that famous saying, France is for French people, and I found it interesting because France for me is a mixed culture country. I guess France is a past-oriented country. They appreciate their traditions and their historical background. Also, they are a progressive country in some cases.
During this assignment, we learned a lot about French culture and the differences between France and our own countries.
We also learned a lot about how to be competent in cross-cultural communication, and we involved that during our teamwork in this task.
Okay.